All right, so this is going to be video number 4 on my channel here, and if you've watched my previous 3 videos, I refuse to come up with any sort of intro, so that's as good of an intro as you're going to get. So basically, what I'm going to talk about now is, so unless you live under a rock, you've seen that Facebook is basically changing their name to Meta. So what I got to say about this is stuff's about to get really weird. Stuff is already really weird, but we're in the thick of it now. So the purpose of Facebook and this name change is they're trying to promote their metaverse, and if you've watched any videos on that, it's creepy. Like it is what it is, and the world's going where it's going, and no one personally has much control over what's going to happen. But if you think the metaverse and the implementation of it is a good thing for humans, I want to tell you in this video how you're completely missing something. So the metaverse is an absolutely terrible thing. I'm just going to say it. For me, that's not even an opinion. That is just what it is. So if the movie Ready Player One is basically what the metaverse could be pushed to its absolute extreme, which is probably what they're going to try to push it to. So where the metaverse has potential to go is, well, let me backtrack a little bit. So if you haven't noticed, automation is becoming more and more prevalent in society. So what's going to happen is every job on this earth can be automated, all of them. And I've had disagreements with people about this. They're like, oh, we still need this, we still need that, we still need doctors, we still need lawyers. Unfortunately, no, you don't. All of those can be automated. A robot can do surgery, a robot can do a health check. And unfortunately, robots can run the legal system, which is going to be absolutely terrible for humans, but that's beside the point. So the reason I bring up automation in regards to the metaverse is when all jobs are automated, money is still going to exist. And most people aren't going to be able to make it because they won't have a job. So this leaves 2 directions. To implement, basically complete what would be basically socialism, have a universal basic income, and everyone gets a certain amount of money each given time period. And that's a possibility, but honestly, in my opinion, probably not, because there is a large number of people who would fight back against that. And I don't think the government is actually that interested in forcing you to do anything, believe it or not. They want you to do specific things, but they want you to they want you to have the illusion that it's your choice. And that's what the metaverse is. So it's going to start slow. The metaverse is just going to be like a game, a cool place to hang out with your friends at first. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start being able to make money in the metaverse doing a specific task while you're hooked up into the metaverse. And this is where cryptocurrency comes in. It's kind of clear to me that cryptocurrency is where money is going. And it doesn't matter which one, pick any cryptocurrency. That can be used as payment in the metaverse. That's the point of money going digital. So you can literally have so when all jobs are automated and there's no jobs in the real world, you can look into the metaverse and find an occupation in the metaverse. So you wake up, you hop on the metaverse, and you do your job in the metaverse. You could be like a retail store employee within the metaverse. You could do anything within the metaverse that you could do in real life. So the problem is so there's going to be, the real economy outside the metaverse that's completely automated, so there's not really any real jobs anymore. And then inside the metaverse, you're going to have some job in this completely fake reality. And that's how a lot of people are going to make a living if this thing is pushed to its extremes, which I think there's going to be an attempt to do that. And when things do go automated, people are going to willingly do this. They're going to willingly hop into the metaverse because you have to make money so you can sustain yourself. And that will never stop being true. You're always going to need money to sustain yourself, no matter by which means it comes. So I find that the majority of people who don't prepare for this are going to be forced to spend a huge significant amounts of their time in the metaverse to the point to where, in their perception, that their real life will be like, it won't be, their real life will have no value, and only in the fake reality of the metaverse will they amount to anything. Now, for some people, I'm sure there's people out there who don't see why that's a problem. It's just like, well, our economy is just going digital and this is just the way it is and people will still make money. But here's the problem. If you get a little deeper on this subject, when humans turn away from nature in the past, it always goes bad. 11 out of 10 times, it goes terribly. And if you don't see how the metaverse is just a direct FU to nature by humans, I don't know how to portray that to you. Like, this is humans turning against nature. It's completely unnatural for humans to live in this manner. And when that happens, so one, just the obvious thing, people are going to spend too much time in the fake reality on their headsets. They're going to live a very sedentary life. They're going to be unhealthy. And like less people are going to exercise. And people are just going to adopt poor habits. And people are going to die sooner. And more than that, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It just isn't real life. The metaverse is not the real world. Like, I'm not even convinced that, like, this is the real world. Like, I'm not convinced of that. So if you're not convinced of that, the metaverse is like going 2 layers deep into the dream. You're like living in an illusion inside of an illusion. And at that point, like, there's no waking up from it for most people. Most people are already never going to wake up from the dream. But when you go into a dream inside of the dream, it's game over. And that's where I think the metaverse is going to lead the vast majority of people. And, you know, again, I'll counter this with, you know, this is just my thoughts on it. Like, I don't have any special knowledge or anything, but it just seems clear to me that there's a real attempt of the metaverse to almost enslave people. And here's how I intend to deal with it as someone who has no desire to participate in such a thing. So basically, I like to pay attention to finances and what's on the cutting edge of finances, and put my money in the money I have now in the things that are probably going to be more valuable in the years to come. And if you can do that, you can hopefully make enough money to where you will not need to go log on to the metaverse in order to make a living. Hopefully you already have things and your sources of income can come from what is perceived as the real world instead of through the metaverse. So you won't have to log into the metaverse for any purpose. So that's kind of my plan. I already invest in things that I think are going to be the future because, you know, it's a simple concept. The things that are going to bring value in the future are going to be worth more. So put your money there. I take your money out of the banks. Banks are useless. Banks are dying. Yeah, all that good stuff. These are just my thoughts and kind of ramblings on where I think the metaverse is attempting to take humanity. Most of this comes from just a general distrust in Facebook because they already have all your data. And this, like, the whole thing just seems very, very fishy to me. And this is kind of exactly where it seems like humanity is going, in my opinion. So that's really all I got at this point. Just my advice is don't get sucked into fake realities because there's a lot out there. We're already barely living in the real world. So I'd recommend not, like, getting sucked into some metaverse that, like, Mark Zuckerberg is trying to create because, in my opinion, that just sounds awful. Good night and good morning.